Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I wonder where you went, Jamie. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vietnam. Yes, yes, yes. It is Monday. It is Monday, October the 14th. Monday, October. I keep wanting the months to just turn back the time and see where we are. Um Trying to. It doesn't seem to be working like that though, that you can turn back the time. Nope, it doesn't work like that. I
Gotta
was
rub a
looking at
crystal ball.
something. Huh?
Crystal ball. You gotta rub a crystal ball.
You gotta do it. And maybe it's a if I could turn back the hands of time. Happy Columbus Day. Actually, not Columbus Day. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Let's go with the let's go with that. I won't jump on my soapbox about that. I did that yesterday. But happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
They
Okay.
are.
Good morning, Stacy. What are you gonna say, Jamie?
No, I was just agreeing. They are indigenous. They was here first.
Go with that.
Not only
Let's go with that.
we acknowledge the indigenous, but let's not forget that the Latinos were already here as well.
Okay. Were they? The
Yeah,
Latins?
the whole Southwest. It ain't Los
Mm,
Angeles because they was Native American.
okay. Raymond said on in New York it's always Columbus Day. No.
It ain't New Mexico because they was Native American. Mexicans Mexicans was already in America.
Ah la la. No, we're not gonna start the history lessons and what we were taught because we were taught stuff that was not accurate. We were
Yes,
taught it was not accurate. We were taught too much stuff that wasn't accurate.
100% true.
Like
You are.
really though? Yeah.
When I started finding out stuff, I started getting mad. I'm like,
Like,
wait a
why
minute,
y'all lied to us? Somebody lied to me.
somebody owe me a couple grades.
A couple grades. A couple grades. Okay. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Jamie, go ahead and get us started before we go any further down this rabbit hole. Go ahead.
Let's get it started in here. All right.
Oh,
All right,
goodness.
y'all. SPX done took off. It done took off
That it did. That it did. Gap and go. Gap and go.
into the breakout, the 15-minute breakout. It done broke out. Here we got a, because it's at highs now. It's going to be trying to find some type of level, but we'll mark the top and the bottom of the first candle. We'll watch it while we're on the call, see what happens. But it was already trying to do a little Maxwell, something, something. All right. So let's swing on back over to our Dow Jones Industrial Average is down negligibly 0.12%. The S&P and the NASDAQ are both up. The NASDAQ is up the most, 0.85%. The Russell 2K is actually down the same amount as the Dow Jones, 0.12%. The VIX is down a tiny bit, 0.05%. It is at 20.45. That's what we got going on. For our earnings season is ramping up. So yay for volatility. If you're into volatility. I mean, I need some volatility right now. Caru. Have no idea. I've never seen this many O's after anybody's company name before.
Right. I'm wondering what do they do? I mean, there has to be something that all those O's have to mean something,
That's
right?
something I've never seen that many. Uh,
Yeah.
we're not going to torture y'all with all naming every single one of these companies today, but we will say this: before open today was Walgreens Boot Alliance, United Health Group, Citi, Bank of America, Johnson and Johnson, Progressive, Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, PNC, State Street. Here's what I will say about this opening group here: State Street, Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs. Those are the ones that I pay attention to. Not necessarily their earnings, but those are the ones that you end up seeing as major holders in a lot of the stocks that we trade, right? So if you go to finance.yahoo.com and you type in the ticker and you go to holdings and find out like who's holding the stock, some of these are the people that you'll see. The banks, the hedge funds, etc. These are the big dogs that we are competing against, more or less, when it comes to where we're getting in and getting out of our strikes and stuff, trades. So definitely worth paying attention to what's happening with them. After close today, United Interactive Brokers. If you,
Tomato.
I'm sorry. So that's before the open to close.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, United Interactive Brokers, JB Hunt, SGH, Pinnacle, Hancock Whitney, have no idea what that is, Interpac Tool Group, Equity Bank Shares, Omni Group, and Fulton Financial. That is what's going on for tomorrow after our close. The other ones, obviously, since we're ramping up for the season, we got the notables, ASML for tech. They're the ones who make the machines that make the semiconductors.
Okay. Okay.
Morgan Stanley is stepping up. Obviously, a lot of us know US Bank is up in here. Equifax is down here, and this is before open on Wednesday. Equifax for close and Discover for the close on Wednesday. Some of us might be familiar with CSX as well. Of course, Thursday, this is the one that I'm keeping the eye on Thursday because of Taiwan Semiconductor. Thursday before open. That is very relevant in terms of tech. They are doing good 85, 90% of the semiconductors worldwide. Somebody we should be aware of. The Blackstone Group also is a major holder in a lot of the stocks that we trade as well. Infosys is in the tech space, but on the software side. So that's Thursday before open. After close, of course, everybody knows Netflix. You rarely hear about WD-40, but they've been around like forever. They're not a fast mover, but they've been around forever. When you look at their chart, you don't see a whole lot of gapping and all the other stuff, but the premiums might not be all that great either. So for Friday before open, you got Comerica, but I'm seeing American Express, Procter and Gamble. Is that Ally? Is that how you say that?
I think it's Ally, like Ally Bank, but
Ally, but I wasn't sure about that.
it might be Ally, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so this particular week, we got a whole bunch of banks, hedge fund types, um, things of that nature, which signals to me if you're going to be looking at a sector ETF, I'll be looking at XLF this week. That would be the one that I pay attention to because I would expect there to be some type of movement with all these different banks stepping up. And I would imagine that next week and possibly the week after, we should. I mean, obviously, you can see banks anytime, but when you see this many banks stepping up, there may be some more coming up in the following subsequent weeks as well. And don't forget, this is, this version is what Earnings Whispers is showing us as the ones that they picked to highlight. But
Mhm.
finance.yahoo.com has a calendar, earnings calendar, and you can see the much more full list of the other ones that are reporting. So just keep that in mind. We got heavy hitters stepping up this week in terms of banking. Today, of course, is the bank holiday, quote unquote, but the market is still open. 9 o'clock today, FOMC member Kashkari spoke. Orange folder at 3 o'clock. Member Waller speaks. And then at 5 o'clock, member Kashkari speaks again. Yellow folder. So that's what we got. One orange folder coming up, and then one more yellow folder, but we'll be up out of there anyway. So that ain't none of our business. What happens once we go, right? So
Well, true, true.
that's for Forex Factory, investing.com. 7 o'clock this morning was the OPEC monthly report. That was 2 stars. 9 o'clock, it was 2 stars over here for FOMC member Kashkari speaking. 2 stars at 11 o'clock coming up. New York Fed 1-year consumer inflation expectations for September. And then again, this is 3 o'clock. Fed Waller is speaking, 2 stars. And then Kashkari, again, 2 stars. So we got all 2 stars today sprinkled out. Now, of course, that's not to say that we're about to hit any type of major volatility that's going to shatter the earth, but it is something to keep in mind. I would highly encourage you to keep that in mind when it's time before you start making entries and things of that nature, to at least take a peek and see what's going on. All right, with you and Mrs. Jones. Okay,
Oh, not Mrs. Jones.
but you got a thing, got a thing going on. That's all I'm saying.
Poor
Got a
Mrs.
thing going
Jones.
on. You know, you're gonna need to check. So
Mm.
SPX has done a tiny bit of a retrace right here. But again, we're at highs right now. So this retrace could signal any number of things, but at the very least, these first two candles have formed, and this looks pretty on the candle pushing up. All right. So I don't know, Alyssa, in terms of the 15-minute breakout, how would you be handling that?
I would consider it broken at this point. If you were looking to jump in right after the break, then of course you should have done that then. Otherwise, for as a seller, you need to see a retest of that breakout to see that it's actually broken, or you can do your call credit spread. I'm sorry, put credit spread below this gap. I would look at below the gap because it could potentially come back to it. And at least that'll give you some support there. And then go with you're gonna do your PDT hack.
So
You
you
could
would
go
be
with
all the way
that.
down.
Yeah, it's a little low, isn't it? It would be undesirable to be down there.
I can't.
It would be undesirable because the money is not gonna be down there. But it's
This froggy is all the way down there.
yeah, yeah. It will be undesirable, but the chance of it coming back to get it is there. So I mean you wanna be um Janae said there was no way to get into triple Q at the low of your sheet. On your sheet. Yeah. Yeah,
8:15.
that's why I always say, good morning, Lisa. That's why I always say to do your check. Now, triple Q on my sheet is for Friday's expiration. Keep that in mind. On my graphic, that's Friday's expiration. So you're not talking about today. You're not talking about today's expiration. It's Friday's. So you are looking to see what's a good place you're comfortable with for Friday, not for today. Okay, our graphic is this Friday expiration.
Thank you, Raymond. Karu is headquartered in Singapore. It is a leading provider of an on-the-ground operations cloud that maximizes the value of data. Okay, the CarTrack, wholly owned by Karu, service as a software as a service platform. Okay, got you. Thank you for that. I'm gonna have to add them to the list. 58.15, 58.10 is 30 cents. If you were going all the way down to where our Alyssa was talking about. Oh,
Yeah, it would be hard to be down there today or this early. I probably would want to wait now to see what happens.
okay. So
Triple Q is closing in on 500. So when it gets to 500, it would be good to see what it does when it gets there.
just to recap, you're
Okay.
saying that even though this pushed up as a strong candle, you would not be trying to get in on the momentum of this candle. You'll be waiting till it comes to see if it comes back down here.
You'd want to retest if you're going to make sure that it retests that breakout to make sure it's still good. Now it has run, and I don't see if you maybe do, you don't have really many smaller time frames, but down to like the 5 minute or whatever, you could kind of see whether or not it really that it retested it. And it didn't. It slowed down just for a pause and then kept going. Um, but we're gonna run into all-time high, and when it gets there, you're going to
This
it's
is the
gonna need to
5 minutes now.
yeah. I'd watch because at this point, the entries, depending on what you're doing, you've kind of missed good entries. Now you just gotta wait.
All right.
For put credit spreads, there's some things you could do, but now that you missed it, pull out of the station, you if you run after it and get too close behind the number, then you'll put yourself in the place of when it turns back because the chance of it turning back is there.
Okay.
Unless you're going out a couple days. Now, if you're going out tomorrow or the next day, then look at there. Wow. If you're going out tomorrow and the next day, then maybe you got room and time.
Well, I'm usually going out tomorrow and the next day. So yeah.
Yeah, I already know, which is why I said if you're going out tomorrow and the next day.
Doing.
You're like, that's me. I'm gonna be going out tomorrow and the next day.
This is what happened on the last session, everybody. Opened, pushed all the way up. It didn't even retrace halfway down to where it was on last week. So I'm not saying that we're in a quote unquote bullish market overall, but I can say that
It's giving bullish energy.
listen, all kinds of
Mhm.
so that's what's happening for SPX. If you want to look at it from the daily perspective. That's what that looks like. That's the gap up right here for today.
Oh yeah.
So definitely on the push up.
Hmm.
All right, let's take a look at SPY because it's a tiny bit different. So if you do the broadening formation, which I have marked here, this is gapped up above the broadening formation, right? So what's the move here, Alyssa, when that happens?
Well, it can. So, basically, you let it do what it do. I mean, the broadening formation is not necessarily, it's not like in itself a support or resistance. It's just telling you that this is where it's gone. It could be, price discovery could happen. So you just document it and watch to see when it does it come back into it, what it does at this point. That's not the broadening formation is not something that you use for an action. Like you don't use that to make a move for an entry. It's not an entry signal. It's
Okay.
more of this is what I have here and let's see what price does after it hits it or whatever.
Okay. Okay. Would you consider this a chair right here? Leg in, base leg out. I kind of look at that as momentum more than a chair.
I would say momentum too. I think that red candle was a turnaround. That was your base and everything else from there to me is momentum.
Now, would you consider this a
I
chair
would
though?
see that little one a chair. Yeah, I would see that one as a chair. You could turn it to the line and that'll probably show it, but I think that would be a chair. That's an inside candle. That inside candle provided entry. Y'all know how I am about those inside candles.
All right, everybody. So I can tell you for right now, if you are paying any attention to the fact
Mhm.
that we are pushing up,
Tanya gave you some tickers whenever you get there.
okie dokie, and we're paying any attention to the fact that we're pushing up, I would highly advise you to be, well, let me rephrase it because I don't give investment advice. I would be looking at put credit spreads right now. Let me just say it that
Yeah,
way. I
I
ain't
do agree with that.
put credit spreads just to be on the safe side. So if I'm 581, 580, that's about 12% return on collateral ish. 12 cents collected, one spread, $100. It's not bad. Um, I can tell you that one of my biggest losses is when I try to do an iron condor too soon at the top.
Mm. Mhm.
Always, I'll get this one down here,
Mhm.
but time the one above it. Never
Mhm.
again.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. You have to wait for iron, especially in a trending market. You have to wait for there to be a rejection, a good rejection at a resistance, or the other way around. But the other side has to reject before you really set um that other side. And that can happen like now. We're the market has been open 35 minutes. So it's pushing right now, but you triple Q looks like it's slowing down. If you go down to the 5 minute chart, looks like it may be turning. So, and you can look at ES to see that there may be a slowdown, and then you can start to see does a new um does a new high or whatever get set that there's a rejection place. Janae put a number, a ticker in there too.
And I can
Yep.
tell you each and every time, in case you've never had it happen, I don't remember one time in my life where me getting my ass handed to me felt good. Never.
Mm, never,
Never.
ever, never.
Never.
It's never felt good.
Never. Not going to whooping, not like nothing. It's never been a hey, that feels
It's
good. Like
never. That was
this
great. Never. That was good,
ball game I lost, nothing.
Mm,
Nintendo game, nothing.
nothing. Never.
Oh up. It never feels good. So let's try avoiding it. All right. This is Google on the daily chart that we are looking at currently. I just want to note this poll as I don't know what it's gonna do as it continues to bounce, but Lord have mercy. This is a pretty decent run up for a
What
poll.
stock is this we're looking at? Oh, I see Google. Okay.
OG without the L.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we're going to mark this, I would do so like such, or like what? Suchy suchy. Yep, suchy. That's the thing.
Yes, it's a thing.
Suchy. Not to be confused with Teensy Weensy.
A teach.
They're the same vernacular family, E2C, but
Not to be confused with the teach. It's just,
they cousins.
they cousins.
Between us two twins, you know how it is.
Oh my
Such
goodness.
Weensy cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm doing for what you could say our traditional buyer zone, seller zone right here. Leg in, base. Let me open this up. Leg in, base, leg out here. Boom. Leg in. I don't like this leg out right here. But I don't think that this is a chair either. So for what I'm looking at, I have it marked that way. This was a chair right here that I would have had marked. So this was breaking past that. But overall, I see this as it retraced and it's heading back up. Right. So this is stuck in the middle. Yeah. So there's that. And then above this, we have a gap. Right. This was a seller's gap too. So that's what this is responding to right here. Right. So if you so chose, if I so chose, I'll say I so chose. If I so chose, I still would be looking at that put credit spread first. Um, we were talking about for the 18th. I don't see a lot of premiums here for that, but I'll be looking somewhere around here. 160.5
What's the probability out of the money?
is 83%
Okay.
of the money. 22 cents. You can always increase that to 3, see what happens, and put that in there to wait. Let it wait on the Lord and see what happens.
Not let it wait on the Lord.
I did notice though that I believe it was a 15-minute. This has started retracing a little bit on the 15-minute. I can't say that
Mm-hmm.
it didn't retrace enough for me to want to put the
Call credit spread on.
spread in, but
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that it started retracing.
Well, you
But
need to look for a couple of things. One of them is on that smaller time frame. You need to look for a longer wick at the top, because you want to see was there, buying pressure, and then the sellers pushed it back down. Those are decent, the decent little wicks. You also can look for it to engulf that green candle. Once it overtakes that green candle, the next to the last one, when it overtakes that one, then you can see that it really was a real, like it really would be a reversal. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
mhm,
So those are the two things you can look at.
mhm. All right. Let's go back to whoops. Daily. All right. So we're looking at was it 21.22 cents that you can pick on up. But make no mistake about it, there is support and resistance
Hmm.
above current price and below current price. So that
All
could
right.
be a
After
potential.
you do Google, let me go ahead and do Adam and such because I need to transition myself to getting ready to go back to class.
Okay.
Okay. Are you done with Google? I guess that's a yes. Our Adam numbers for the morning. Adam says, quick work to start in SPX. Today's first given target was 58.33. As long as 58.23 held, we held 58.23 exact and ran to 58. That's like the same number. And that was the same number. Anyway, same drill. Lock in those gains, let a runner go. We continue to run following the 57.70 to 57.95 textbook flag breakout. 58.45 is up next. I believe we have hit that and surpassed it. It might be pulling back now from there. I'm not looking at SPX on this screen. 58.23 is support. Oh yeah, SPX is at 58.49, which is just above this, but it is pulling back some. So 58.23 is support, but it's weak. 57.93 to 53, 57.93 to 57.97 are below. So just below 5,800 if we don't hold this 58.23 support. The difference between the gap between ES and SPX is about 45 right now. So if you're looking at ES and looking at SPX, that gap is about 45. Right. Let me make sure again that I'm looking that my numbers is decent. So I want to make sure if you're following Adam that you're following him with knowledge, right? 58.98. Yeah, that's about actually it's about 50 now. 50 to not yet, it's about 50. So that's where we are with that for Adam, right? So last week we did our good trading last week, 94% win rate. On our list from last week. Yes, yes, and yes. 98% win rate we had last week, last week. 34 out of 36 profitable trades every week. And then we have a list for this week. If you're looking at me at this, maybe go ahead and screenshot this list. We went over a lot of it yesterday on our call. Use these numbers, but now again, sometimes I think Janae said this. She waits until Tuesday. Let's see what Monday has to offer. Seeing that these are weeklies, these are things that are going to go for the week. So give it some time. Not necessarily jump into these at 9:30 in the morning. You want to see what do these stocks actually do. Maybe today, maybe this afternoon, you look and you set your alerts and things to let you know when it has rejected support, when it has rejected resistance, and then you enter from there. All right. You don't have to jump in at 9:30 on Monday. We're entering when it leaves support or when it leaves resistance. That's when we get our best premiums and we know we're getting what we want to get. Trades Journal, not sure if you are utilizing this, I will make sure that the link to this is in the comments. It's not there now, not comments, in the description. It's not there now, but it will be. All right, you can get your free trades journal. Right. Last night we opened up Chart and Trade. Chart and Trade is a program we're going to run for the last 6 weeks of this year. We're going to start it on November the 11th. 11/11 is when we're starting it. The 100K Options Blueprint. It's a trading training program. And we opened this last night for $1. Started at $1, and each next person paid $1 more. People paid $2, $4, $10, 15. Y'all want to know where we at right now? We're at $52. This program is worth $4.97. It's worth $4.97. I've sold it for $4.97. I've taught it for $4.97. Actually, two programs. I've taught them separately for that price, and I put them together. All right. So I want you to know this is a 6-week program. It will start on November the 11th. It's a combination of Chart Your Way to 100K and Options 411 remastered. Okay, we basically are putting together two powerhouses. We're going to bring two powerhouses onto one stage, and we're going to do it that way. And you're able to get into it at this point for less than $100. Actually, less than $50, right at $50, because at 52, it's right now. Buy it for 50. I want to say 52. It might have gone up since I've been on the call. And the longer you wait, the higher the price goes. Every person takes it up $1. All right. It's a 6-week program. We got week 1, we're going to do charting foundations. Week 2, we've got advanced charting techniques where we're putting our indicators involved in there. Week 3, we're going to get into buying option strategies is week 3. Week 4, we go into option selling strategies and risk management. Week 4, sorry. Week 5, we're doing a combination of the charts and your options. How do we put these together? And week 6, we talking about how do we scale it up? How do you scale it up to where you can generate some good income, right? But if you don't have the foundation and the fundamentals, you can't scale, right? You can't really scale off somebody else's call out. You have to scale it based on what you know, because that's the only way you're going to be comfortable putting more and more money on the line. You're going to have to trust that money for yourself. You right? You not can't trust somebody else. They might be trading some different way and you're not, right? Make sure that if you're already in my membership, there's nothing for you to do. If you're already a part of my membership, you're already grandfathered in. If you're not in my membership and you want to be a part of the Chart and Trade program, you need to go to the website and get yourself registered quickly. I would not wait. The price is going up. Every minute you wait, the price is going up, right? If you're in my membership, though, I would expect that you would pass the word on to some of your trading friends, because all of the people in my membership are all in other communities. Pass that word on. You see some people who are in the community asking beginner questions and needing a lot of help to bring them along. This is what you offer them. You say, oh, I got a program for you. You can hop on with us and come join up with us, right? And you can go for 6 weeks. We're going to finish the year strong, and we're going to start 2025 off even stronger, because we got plans. We got plans that include our money, right? And you need to pull it in order to use it. So go ahead to http chart your way to 100k.com and go ahead and get yourself involved. Chart your way to 100k.com. I'm switching over to the screen because I want to see actually where we are. Once you go to that website, it gives you it's going to tell you exactly what is included in the program. It's going to tell you what's included in the program, so you'll know for sure what you're getting for your money, right? I'm sharing now. This is what the page looks like. Chart and Trade, chart your way to 100k.com. Chart and Trade, 100k options blueprint. You got all the reading, tells you what's all included. The 6 weeks are here, right? Got a nice little graphic. Why this program? Why should you do this program? What's included? Weekly assignments, structured lessons, private trading community. I'm going to teach just like I would teach for $497 or $697, right? You're going to get the whole thing. I'm not going to be like, you only paid $1, so you get $1 worth of effort. No, everybody gets the same thing. At this point, the current price is $51. I think. Let me refresh it because it might be higher. The current price is $51. If you wanted to come on, you need to go ahead and get yourself registered. You need to go ahead and get yourself registered. Okay. Pass the word. Those in my community, pass the word to your folks so they can learn too. We ain't gatekeeping over in here. We're giving them whatever everybody, the whole objective here is to make sure that we all are learning as much as we can learn. That's the whole objective. Okay. All right. Everybody with me? Y'all with me? The people who are with me, y'all telling y'all people? Okay, make sure you tell your people. Yeah, make sure you tell your people what's going on. All righty, pass the word. All righty. I think that was my last slide. Yep. Jamie, you cannot control these things here, can you?
I'm not sure what these things here are, but no.
I was saying, can you control my slides? You're saying no.
Oh, nope, no control over the
Okay.
slides.
I want you to go ahead and go back to where you were.
Uh-huh.
Now you had another couple of tickers to go through, right? There we
Couple of
go.
tickets, correct.
All right. Thank you. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all. Oh, if you're still here, make sure you hit the thumb up, the notification bell. Make sure you like and subscribe. Again, make sure all the people know that we're over here on YouTube every single morning. We're here every single morning. All right. Okay.
All
Take it
righty.
away.
We are looking at Russell 2000. It popped out. It also is popping back in. So that's happening on the Russell 2000 side. All right. Those two happening at the same time. We got Microsoft that we need to look at. MSFT. Yes. Come on now. All right. Got it. Got it. Let us to our daily. In case you're wondering, this is what Microsoft looks like on the monthly chart. Serious run up. It has done some retracing. August did some retracing. September, little retracing. But, I mean, it's playing King of the Hill right now, basically. And what do is put a blue line on here for the monthly. About right there. Oops. Just marking this turnaround on the monthly. Very clear that the buyers stepped in there. The sellers did a nice little step in right there. All right. Got weekly. It's gonna mark this one here as a good turnaround spot. When it turns around like that, when you see that reversal in direction, that means it hit a price and a strong one. In order for it to send that type of price the opposite direction, this dotted line going across the screen is my line at price. So as the price up here changes, this line is going to keep moving up and down. So I always know where price is at. So this is what happened we're on the daily chart now. We did the monthly and the weekly. The daily, we have a gap right here. And we're going to switch on over to the options chain. All right. Got us a gap right here. I will say that I have traded Microsoft before, and I actually did not have any problems with it. I forgot why I didn't keep trading. I might have to re-add it to the list. I don't remember having any bad vibes with it or anything like that. This was a buyer's gap. So I'm gonna mark this. This arrow for me means that that's the direction of the gap. And this was the buyer's gap. So if you're looking, this was automatically by marking the gap, showed me where my zone was. I will put 2 of these in the base. And
I think you should use Microsoft more often because you like 2.5s, right?
Say it
You
again.
want some 2.5 spreads. Those are going to be Microsoft. You said you
Yeah,
like the 2.5 spreads. Microsoft fits that category.
it does. I
Yeah.
think the only thing that I can think of
And you,
how it got off my list was probably because I had
mm-hmm,
I was trying to get away, not get away from tech, but to not have so much tech on my watch list.
mm-hmm,
And so
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I was looking at, I added like Costco, Lilly, and UNH, United Health, because I was like, I
mm-hmm,
need to stop putting so much tech on my. I love the tech stuff, as you know, but I was like, this is way too tech heavy. And when something drops, everything drops. Not for lack of
mm-hmm,
praising, but yeah, you're right. They were on there, and I actually do like them.
mm-hmm,
This chair could be 2 in the base up here, or it could be like I've seen it done both ways. I kind of prefer 2 in the base myself, um, but I can understand why somebody would do 1 in the base. So this is in between zones. That's the point of what's happening right here. So there's a little bit of a buffer right here. I'll be looking at a punt, credit spring. I'll be doing. I'll be looking at 415. 415 is 80% of the money. Ding,
mm-hmm.
ding, 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 ding. It's 33 cents. That is more than 10% return on collateral. And it is depending on how price is moving. When it kind of floats down a little bit, that also gives you a little bit more in premium. So that's happening. I
That's
would
happening.
I would also see this as a potential iron condor opportunity because of where it is located. But again, I would be waiting to put the other side on. But as of right now, if I'm just doing the one side, that's what I'll be looking at. Matter of fact, we'll just drop that in there just to see what's happening. Right? And then VST, is it?
Mm-hmm. That was what it was.
I've never heard of this one. Who is this? Is this Vistra Corporation? All right, they got a nice little monthly buyer zone happening and some serious seller activity at the top. Here's another one. Share formation right here on the weekly. Okay. Response from the buyers right here at 114. They also had a gap up on the daily chart. All right. I have no idea why they even popped in my mind, but okay. All right, so we got the gap up. Let me keep forgetting to the screen I'm looking at is a bigger screen, but I keep forgetting that I need to start blowing up the chart more so other people can see it on whatever device they're looking at. All right, so here's what I got as the seller zone on the daily chart. This has a little room to run, but not a whole lot. Just so you know, right? Just so you know, little room to run, but not a whole lot. I will be putting my buyer zone right here. Leg in, 2 in the base, leg out, and there's a little bit of a gap right here. Tiny, itsy, teeny, winky. Bit of a gap. In there. And these gaps are buyer gaps. Right? So I'm going to put that in there. DGP is for day gap on my charts. And this is the direction it got. I'm going to try to put this somewhere where it can be seen. This is a day gap as well. You could probably force here in terms of a buyer zone, but I wouldn't do it. I would just kind of leave it as this. But I will say, whatever this is I would consider this a run up for a pole, maybe. And it looks like it could be possibly trying to form maybe a double top or something like that. Who knows? But let's see what the options chain is saying. I'll be looking at about 124, which is 79% out the money. This is a one spread, 15 cents. 15 cents. That's $15 on $100 collateral. And these expirations I'm looking at are just to expire this coming Friday. So, and it does look like it's trying to reverse right now off of the seller zone that we're looking at. So that's something to keep in mind before getting in. You may want to go the opposite direction and say, let me see what's looking like up here. It's about 80% out the money as well. So that would be 12 cents. So a little bit less, which would be above it. But you do have this support happening right here. So something to keep in mind because of this gap up. Right? Just to be aware. So that's how I'm seeing that. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's swing back around to two things. Number one, our SPX. See what we got for our 15 minutes. See you later, Alyssa. Going on to teach that advanced math. She all up in them. She's teaching the math that gave me nightmares when I was in college. Okay, so when this came back, it didn't even touch this line. It just kept going on SPX. So it is definitely still running up. The buyers are still pushing this up. This is 58.55. This is about where it is right now. So it has kept on moving up. right? For SPX, and I'm speaking in terms of the breakout. And I know some people do trade the half hour. So this is what it will look like for the half hour breakout, wherein they would just move this candle up here and do it from that angle. The other one is Russell 2000. Same thing. This one actually may come back and touch this again. Who knows? But there's definitely giving it a reaction on this last candle. So it has definitely broken out. It is basing right now, and so that's one to be careful of if you're still going to get in. Okay. Okay. All right. Everything is up currently except for the Russell 2K. It's flat. Dow Jones is up. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.08%. S&P is up 0.70%. The NASDAQ is up the most, 1.02%. Russell 2K is down 0.01%. And the VIX is down 1.86%. Triple Q is also running at close to highs. It has retraced on the weekly chart. This is a strong seller zone too. Very strong seller formation that it is trying to break through on the weekly chart. Man, that's serious. Let's say if we went with this, I probably would go with these two for my buyer zone and my seller zone. So let's try that. That's for the weekly. The daily has this gap up. And whoops. All right. There's our gap. Too many different ways we could look at this. So for the daily, pretty much these two are right together because we're at the top. Take it from the top. So we got this. This was one revisit. It is in this zone right here. And to be honest with you, we probably could just do this for a chair formation. Leg in. Actually, probably could do that. Leg in. You can do 3 in the base, or you can do 2 in the base right there. Leg in, 3 in the base, leg out. If you want less risk, maybe you can do that. The formation doesn't look that great in terms of the leg in. And this line should be up here on this candle. So I've seen it done multiple ways. I've seen it done leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. because of that gap up. And then I've seen leg in, 3 in the base, leg out. So whichever one you decide, it's your money. It is your moolah. But just know where the buyers and the sellers are. That's all I say. Whichever one you decide. If you're not sure about that, then we can always do this. You can just mark this as we're not sure what's going on. And then we mark one that we are maybe a little more sure about. For example, I don't even like this leg in, but leg in, base, leg out. Leg in or a leg out is ugly to me, but it would be a leg out if we use this leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. Right? So either way, we got options for what we're trying to look at, but this is starting to try to retrace even on the daily chart. This is a strong leg out. So definitely look at, this is 83% out the money. If we went with 500 as a strike, that's 10%. Or shall I say 10 cents? So that would be 10% return on collateral. If you so chose, I chose the one at the top because I see it retracing. If somebody wants to go with the bottom and do the put credit spread, nothing wrong with that. Probably be less premiums, I would imagine. 8 cents. But of course, you can always add 2 more cents and then send it in and wait to see. Let's see what'll happen. 496. Yeah, I really want to get 490. I guess 496 should be okay, but 496 would be right in here, a little bit too close for my skin. No, thank you. But it is trying to do a little something. All right. So we got right now, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We truly appreciate it. Don't forget, we still have at 3 o'clock, FOMC member Waller is speaking. 3 o'clock, that's an orange folder. And in 17 minutes, 2 stars, New York Fed 1-year consumer inflation expectations. So just be aware of those 2 things that are happening. Our E2T, daily declaration by faith. I'm a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I made smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. E2T, daily prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. All right, everybody, don't forget about Chart Your Way to 100K. Go ahead and sign up. Increments in $1 at a time. And we're looking forward to having you and seeing you in November. Thank you so much for, again, hanging out with us. Don't forget to click like. Feel free to subscribe and join our membership, educator, 2trader.com. All right. Thank y'all so much. Hasta mañana. Stay green, get this money, and have a great green day.